Hi everyone, so in today's video what we're going to do is quickly go through some of the tools and my process for yield farming. This hasn't changed over the last couple of years, and this is what I've been doing to pretty much grow my crypto without actually ever having to put any more capital, fresh capital into it. So the first things first here, you can see Bitcoin at the moment is not doing the greatest. Last hour or two, we're obviously down. Overall, a bit of a sideways movement. Happy to see this maintain over the coming weeks. As I said, this is normally a great time for yield farming. So what we want to do here is jumping over to Swapex. Again, shout out to Swapex, the official sponsors. Make sure you check the link below. You can check them out yourself. But I love Swapex for the ability that in and out of positions can be so easy, and overall user friendliness is brilliant. So definitely something to look at. And what we'll be looking here in this and referring back to this is the USDC-Wrapped ETH positions. I'm going to be looking at this on Sonic, and obviously we might look at it on, say, base chain as well, also just to kind of make people familiar with other chains and other networks and stuff like that for yield farming. So what you want to do here is you can see USDC-Wrapped ETH position, and also we have it over here on VFAT is another platform I love to use, is again Wrapped ETH USDC position again. So we have the ETH positions now for definite. We have an idea which ones we're wanting to get into. What we want to do next is we want to basically look at DeFi Llama. So DeFi Llama is a platform that everyone should be familiar with, and definitely this section here, the correlation matrix, this is going to tell you what positions you get into and how they move similar to each other. So if we go out here to a year time scale, you can see Sonic, because obviously it rebranded from Phantom over to S, you can see there is massive red here on the board. So no one is going to put S and BTC in pair because they move opposite directions, so impermanent loss is going to be a big thing. However, if we change it to the 1 month time frame, obviously it's a completely different story it's telling. However, it is also saying that ETH and BNB is probably one of the best pairs to be in, because at this moment in time over the last month both have moved up together and down together, so impermanent loss is not as big of an impact, and staying within your range is a better chance for definite. So this is something I will look at maybe when I finish the video, because I didn't notice this until I done this video now. So what you want to do now is, as if we jump over to VFAT here, you can see obviously the Wrapped ETH USDC pool. Now for me personally, I have some things I look at before I get into position. So you can see here 36 million in TVL, and I've made up this little guide to help people that are new into this kind of go through it. So it is simple enough. Our both tokens, I'm not going to go through it all, but it gives you an idea. Both tokens in the top 50 market cap. You go through this, all you do is tick the boxes, and pretty much it gives you a rating. So if you have a good starter or too risky, it can be potentially way too risky for you to be getting involved in your portfolio. However, if you're well established and you have good strong positions built out for your foundation of your portfolio, well then you may be able to accept a little bit of the risk. But again, if you're a starter into this entire space and you're looking to build out, it is definitely something that would be worth, if you're interested in getting it. You can get it in the link below. I have it it should be in the first one or two pinned posts there, but it's the link will get you to download it for free. And again, it just goes through all the information on what you have to do and how to use it. So as I said, if this position ticks it, what I would do is look to get into it. Again, what happens here is I like to see how much I earn per day on these positions. So roughly a 5% range is going to give me 128%. Again, we jump over here. This is my own calculator I built out just to kind of make it a bit easier. Crypto compound calculator without having to always be looking to try and calculate things. We put $10,000 into it. We have it 128% rate. This can tell us we're going to earn roughly $35 per day in this position. Now, again, this is going to fluctuate massively. Always remember that. But for me personally, I just like to have an idea, because if I can get enough positions built out and I can get an average APR, I can have a rough idea how much I'm going to earn. And again, it's just nice to see if I decided to compound this every single day, you can see there very quickly how the portfolio starts to grow. So after maybe 20 days, 28 days, we're up to $36, $38 a day we're earning. And then obviously by roughly 122 days, we're earning roughly $43 or $53, sorry, is being compounded back into it. And you can see the portfolio overall growth after 1 year is up to $35,000. So again, look, this is not fixed, don't get me wrong, but again, it just helps me massively understand where capital is going, how funds are being moved, and get a clearer picture of it. And what I really like about VFAT here is the ability to automate a reward. So when you're in positions here, what you can do is you can auto compound, auto harvest. So what that means is it's going to automatically take out your crypto. You can convert it into different assets. So here we can convert it into any one of these and anything else we can think of. So if we wanted to into BTC, I think the option is there. If we want to convert it into ETH, we can do it, or we can just simply go with USDC, and that's it. And it's going to automatically convert it, lock in our profits, and regardless of the LP position of what's happening, we're going to still be earning. So definitely, worth a check out. And I suppose last but not least is DBank. DBank is an excellent platform to kind of get you familiar with what chains and where your assets are. So if you're using a lot of different chains, and on this wallet I'm not using too many because it is very heavy into the Sonic, this is going to allow you to see where your funds are and where positions are, and definitely something that I think you should have linked into yourself and with your wallet. Again, just to kind of give you an idea of what you're doing and where your funds are. And because trust me, when you have a few different positions open in a few different chains, it can become confusing, and it's nice here just to have a snapshot of where everything is and quickly just see what's happening. So yeah, that's pretty much it. They're the kind of the key tools that I would use. As I said, I use Swapex for the simple getting in and out of positions into LP positions, growing your overall bags, and as I said, from a user point of view, it is super easy and super quick to get into positions, and definitely something to kind of start the entire learning process. From there, obviously, I get an idea of what I'm earning in these positions. So again, the same is true here with roughly 156%. All I do is just put in the amount if I'm compounding daily or whatever it is, and that's perfect. DeFi Llama, for the simple fact that correlation matrix over here on the left, you scroll right down, it's down here near the bottom. But it also, like, DeFi Llama has a lot of information about different farms, different positions, and there's a massive amount of information here, so definitely worth to check out. VFAT for your more portfolio management in terms of yields and different things like that, because as I mentioned, you can get into pretty much a massive amount of chains here at the moment. You can see them all listed here. We have Sonic, we have Base, we have BNB chain, so a host of different options there for you if you're interested in. And obviously then we have DBank over here to kind of a bit more of a portfolio management to see where your funds are. So look, we're going to leave it there. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully it'll help you understand. Again, if you're interested in grabbing this, the link will be in the description. Just, press the link and you have a few things to kind of do to get it sent to you. And definitely something that could be a massive help to you, especially when you're trying to learn this entire DeFi section. So thanks very much for watching, and I hope everyone has a great day.